How's everybody doing out there? eSIM Studios. I wanted to make a quick video, so rumor has it, and I'll have more information on it later, especially as time goes on, but out of nowhere, rumor has it, and this has been leaked by industry insiders, that, and this leads to a bigger question, but let me get to the news. The rumor has it is that OnePlus, obviously, they just released the OnePlus 13. Oh my God. The more I use it, the more I'm going to be a big proponent of OnePlus because I think they're on the right track. I think they kind of got derailed a couple years ago. They came back with the 12, and then the 13 is just it's a freaking phenomenal device. It feels premium, and the operating system feels premium as well. So hardware and software, they hit a home run with this OnePlus 13. Now, this is the news that gets me excited. OnePlus is rumored to be making a OnePlus 13 mini. That's correct. A OnePlus 13 mini. So this OnePlus 13 mini, the other exciting thing, they're not cutting corners on specs. OnePlus 13, now I say mini because it doesn't have an official name. It has an internal SKU. It has an internal name, but it'll probably be named something else than mini, but maybe. So check this out. OnePlus 13 mini is going to carry the same specs as the OnePlus 13. So, you know how like Samsung would have the S20, let's just say S23 Ultra, and then the S23, but the S23 wouldn't have the same specs. It was close, but not the same specs as the S24 Ultra. Or, I have a lot of Google Pixel subscribers, sort of like how the Google Pixel, just picking a phone out of thin air, 8 Pro. Well, let's do the 7 series. The Pixel 7 Pro, the big one, well, had flagship specs, but the Pixel 7, the smaller one, had less RAM. The screen was full HD and not 2K display. You know, it would have like 90 hertz refresh rate, and only the big one would have 120. Well, OnePlus is not going to do that. OnePlus is literally taking the OnePlus 13 and all of its hardware and putting that into a smaller device. And that's very, very exciting, but frustrating, which we'll get to in a minute, for mobile phone users, OnePlus fans. Now, the only thing obvious that is not going to be the same as its bigger brother is going to be the display. So the OnePlus 13 has a 6.82 super dynamic AMOLED LTPO 2.0 120 hertz refresh rate display. All right, so they're bringing that to the smaller OnePlus 13 mini. However, the screen size, and I think this is a very important number as well, it's going to be small, but not like too small to where you don't even want to use it, right? It's going to be a 6.31 inch display. 6.31. Now, for comparisons, it's the same size at minus a hundredth of a millimeter, roughly the same size. I'm trying to, for those of y'all that have the Pixel 7, it's going to be right around that size. So, which is a fantastic, even better news, because anything under that 6.3, if it's a 6.2 or 6.1, is too small, in my opinion. That's a teeny tiny phone compared to what we're using now. OnePlus 13 mini is going to be small, but not too small, right? So there'll be a size difference between the OnePlus 13 and OnePlus 13 mini, but it's not too small. It's just perfect for people that do want a smaller device. Now, although it'll still be big enough for you to, you know, have good viewing angles, have playing games on, watching videos, all that good stuff. Now, it's going to have a 1.5K Super AMOLED dynamic display. 1.5K. So they're not even bumping it down to 1080p plus. It's not going to be 1080p plus. It's going to be actual 1.5 1.5K display. So you're still going to get, probably, since it's a smaller size, I don't know, I haven't done the math, probably in the PPI department, it's probably going to be over 400 PPI, which is very good. When you get up to close to 500, that's where it's like, whoa. The OnePlus 13 has, I think, a 502 pixels per square inch, which is, I think, almost maybe the most pixels per square inch on any device that I can think of. Most of them are mid to high 400s. OnePlus 13 display is so good, it's 502 PPI. So this OnePlus 13 mini is going to be, and I'll probably do the math later, but it should be lower 400s, which is still fantastic. It's way better than a 1080p plus. It's almost double the pixels. Not, well, you know what I mean. But this is fantastic news and very exciting news. Now, what's the downside? Well, so that's, and they're going to bring this, from what I heard, the same camera system. It's going to be a smaller flagship. The only thing that's a bummer is, and what really frustrates me, now I'm gonna, believe me, I'm getting this thing, but what frustrates me, and I think frustrates a lot of you, is why are they putting, I hate it when Apple, for example, comes out with, I don't know, iPhone 15 series, they launch it, and then 6 months later, oh, we have a new color. Well, it's a bold, nice looking color that you would have loved to have, but damn it, you already got the iPhone 15 at launch. So, a lot of people, the average person, can't or doesn't want to sell this device to get the new one that they really wanted, and then signing in into all your apps, transferring all your data is a pain in the ass. Plus, it is expensive. You will lose some money, right, doing that. So that's my frustration. It's the same thing with Samsung with the Galaxy, what do they do? The Z Flip 6 Special Edition, the super thin one, or what a Fold 6 Special Edition, the real thin one. It comes out like months after the original flagship comes out. So everybody's like, well, I already bought the phone. Now, same thing with, I think Google did that. Google does that with the A series. Well, it's not technically a one-to-one comparison, but you get the point where a company comes out with a flagship device, and then 6 months later they come out with that same device in a new color version, or they try to, and the reason why they do that is to try to boost sales, boost numbers, keep interest in their product year round, because a fiscal year is a long time, because there's a lot of hype at launch. Just like this OnePlus device, even with Samsung, even with Apple, although they deal with this a little bit less. But companies, especially smaller companies like Nothing, OnePlus, even Samsung deals with this, where you release a model and it gets a lot of attention, a lot of fanfare, and they sell a decent amount of them. But it's a year, but they're not coming out with their upgrade with a new model until a whole nother calendar year. So they have to, these companies are trying to boost sales, obviously, but keep the interest high, keep the talk on the internet going, on YouTube going year round. So that's why they kind of introduce a refreshed model 6 months or a few months later to try to keep that energy going, money coming in, sales going. But it's frustrating for users, because I got very excited seeing this news, very excited, and then that's the next, I was like, is it really going to be just a small flagship version? Is it really going to be a one-to-one comparison, meaning they're not going to cut corners on any specs? No. I got really excited. Then the very next thing I thought was, why do they do this? Because so many people want, I know probably the number of people wanting a little smaller device is probably getting smaller and smaller, but that interest is still there. And especially it's not going to be a super compact phone. It's still going to be decent size. It's just not going to be ginormous like all these phones are. So I believe this will sell well, but people that wanted this OnePlus phone, the one with the OnePlus 13, are already going to have the OnePlus 13. So I think it's a good idea for these companies. Well, let's just stick to OnePlus. I think this is a good idea for them to do this, but I think they shoot themselves in the foot releasing it 4 months, 5 months after the original flagship launches, because we do not have a launch date for this OnePlus 13 mini. But it is rumored, nothing set in stone, but it's rumored to come out in 4 months from now. So we're we're in January. So we're February, March, April, May. So you're looking at a May launch for this device, for this OnePlus 13 mini. And most people that want this OnePlus 13 are already going to have the OnePlus 13. Now, sure, that doesn't encompass every person that's interested in the phone is not going to get it in the first 4 months. I get that, but a large majority of them will. So I think it hurts the sales of the small one. I think if they released a small one and a big one at the same time, it would excuse me, it would have been a phenomenal groundbreaking piece or time in history that we can look back on. This OnePlus 13 is that good. I'm telling you, if y'all are kind of on the border of should I get it, should I not get it, this device is bad. And I'm so frustrated because I don't have enough time to shoot video. I'm going to make some time to make videos on this OnePlus 13. It's a whole nother level. Like, it's on Samsung's level. It's on Apple's level. Like, I'm telling you, this thing is that if you're kind of, should I get it? I don't know if I should get it. Just get it. It's a badass phone. They've raised the bar once again. So I know if they brought out a smaller one, it would be a classic release that everybody would remember. Damn, yeah, the OnePlus 12 was nice, but damn, do y'all remember that OnePlus 13? They came out with, they shut it down with the OnePlus 13 and OnePlus 13 mini, and the release dates are kind of, it's a little dicey for OnePlus because they're trying to beat Samsung, and that's a whole other story, on release time, because the the S25 series is, well, shit, you can reserve it already. And say, sneaky Samsung. They knew the OnePlus 13. Trust me, they got people in the companies that this is a strategic planning of products and launch dates and PR announcements. They're smart about this. Samsung beat OnePlus to the party because the day before you could reserve your OnePlus 13, Samsung stole the show, and you could release your Samsung Galaxy S22, Samsung Galaxy S25 series a day before the OnePlus 13. So Samsung, I was going to make a video about that. Samsung came in and stole the show, and you can release your, very petty. So they wanted you to buy the that tells you how good this OnePlus 13 is. If Samsung was not worried about the OnePlus 13 launch, they'd be like, good luck. We're gonna steal the show. We're gonna get all the sales. We're gonna get all the online. We're gonna get all the fanfare. All the talk's gonna be about our new S25 series. No. That's what tells you just how good this OnePlus 13 is that it is so good, in fact, Samsung knows it's on the same level as their S25 Plus and S25 Ultra, and that some people would move to this OnePlus 13. So Samsung wanted to get all the sales they could. They didn't want this OnePlus 13 to spoil their show because their release date's right around the corner. They're literally in a week or two. And they wanted to come in and steal some of the sales from the OnePlus 13 people that were considering buying that. So that just tells you how good this device is. But that just should get you even more excited if you like a little bit smaller device, a little bit smaller form factor. This OnePlus 13 mini is going to be another home run. They're going to knock it out of the park with this, but the only downside is a lot of the people that would like to buy this OnePlus 13 have already got the OnePlus people that wanted to buy the OnePlus 13 mini have already got the OnePlus 13. And it's a bummer that they can't release them all at the same time, because I have a feeling this is going to be I'm very going to be a classic year, one that we're going to look back and remember. I'm happy that these companies are starting to ditch the smaller devices in these series, the S25 Plus and S25. The smaller one, the medium and smaller one, are going to have the same specs, minus the screen resolution, but they're bumping up the RAM. Now, it's because of AI. They're bumping up storage. They're bumping up all the flagship specs that their latest and greatest, their best have, like the S25 Ultra is going to have, the S25 Plus will have, the S25 will have, right? All the specs, the flagship specs that the OnePlus 13 is going to have, the OnePlus 13 mini will have. And same thing with Pixel. The Pixel 10 Pro is going to be a mirror image of the Pixel 10 Pro XL. So they feel the pressure, and that's from people like you and I discussing this stuff online and voicing our displeasure in having a smaller flagship when it's really not a flagship, when they do decrease the resolution, they do decrease the frame rate, they do decrease the RAM or UFS storage, speeds. No, that is unacceptable, and we're not going to buy it. Now, if they do choose to put true flagship specs that their bigger brothers carry into these smaller devices, we will buy it. And that's why we are excited about this OnePlus 13 mini. That's why I am considering getting an S25, the smaller S25, because it will have 12 gigs of RAM. It will have UFS storage 4.0. It will have base 256 gigs of storage. It will have a little better than 1080p plus display. We need to demand these things, and I think if we demand them and voice our opinions online, you can basically strong arm these companies, because a lot of people refused to buy the base model S25 or S series Samsung Galaxy. That's why their number one seller is the S25 Ultra, because it has the best specs. So, once you put the best specs in the other models, people will buy them, right? People don't want to pay flagship premium prices if it doesn't have flagship premium specs. So, hats off to OnePlus. Thank you very, very much. And I'm very excited. Please let me know in the comments what you think. Are you excited about this? Are you considering getting it? What is your feelings about smaller flagship now that they do have flagship specs? Are you considering going to a downsize in display size for your next device? I certainly am, and I want to know your opinion. So hit me up in the comments. I'll check them daily, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.